Hey everybody, Sam Kavaris and the Nimnicht Buick GMC Video Sports Update. Jaguars are 0-4 and they've been blown out of every game. 37-3 to the Colts, obviously, and now Gus Bradley tells us after looking at the tape that he's more committed to Blaine Gabbert, that Gabbert is making those throws, is playing with some of the freedom. And the receivers have got to do a better job trying to get open. They've got to win the 50-50 balls, which is kind of a misnomer when it comes to the Jaguars because it seems like the opponents are always grabbing those. So expect to see an awful lot of Gabbert, despite the fact that he won't step up in the pocket and he doesn't slide very well, and we've obviously seen that so far. He does have great traits according to Bradley. Fast, big, strong arm, no question about that. We'll see again if he can translate that into a game. I said, right after the game on Sunday that they should cut Jason Babin. I'll stick by that, but they're not going to at this point. Babin, according to Bradley, was making errors of commission, which means he was trying to make a play, that he wasn't out there freelancing, that he was lining up offsides because he was trying to get to the ball as quickly as possible. I just think some of the things that he's done, particularly that helmet and roughing the passer penalty on Andrew Luck, are the things that a veteran player needs to understand, that when you do that, the other players see you do that. When you don't do that, they understand that leadership and how to play the game and what's going on. So Babin, he's a guy who'll have 10 sacks at the end of the year, and none of them will be particularly meaningful, but he'll get his cash, and that'll be that. Right now, he doesn't really fit into the profile of what the Jaguars are doing, and that's what makes me wonder. You can't tell me, if you're Dave Caldwell or Gus Bradley, that this would not be a better team with Montel Owens and Derek Cox and Rashad Jennings and Rasheed Mathis and Darryl Smith. Take those 5 guys and still add them back to this club, who were all available and all would have played here. Certainly, they have more worth than Babin's got, and Babin is that guy who doesn't seem to fit into it. But all water under the bridge is that they've decided what to do. As I've said many times, Gus Bradley and Dave Caldwell have the luxury of not having to win. And that's because, at this point, Shad Khan has been told that they're not going to win, and he understands that. Had Mike Mularkey and Gene Smith told him that last year, they'd still have those jobs, but they didn't. They said, if you add these guys in, we've got a chance. They didn't. They added them. They didn't have a chance. They finished 2-14, and that's how we got brand new management. So at this point, what they've got to do is, as Bradley says, find out what they can do well. The offensive line, which literally 2 years ago blocked for the leading rusher in the National Football League, is virtually the same guys except a better guy at right tackle. Why aren't they doing that job? Pad level obviously is part of it. Scheme, what Jed Fish and the coordinators are doing up front, I don't know, but it's hard to explain that with Monroe and now Rackley, who's a better guard, Meester still playing good football, anybody, but you can go ahead and say that Winery is the guy. I don't think he's fabulous. And Luke Jokel is certainly an upgrade from any right tackle. There are a lot of things that you wonder about what's going on with this team. Who's the guy with Dallas who's playing great, who the Jaguars cut? Defensive lineman.
Selvey.
George Selvey. That's exactly right. So, these are players that are playing in the league that aren't playing for the Jaguars. 2 road games, in fact, coming up, and we'll talk more about that later in the week. I'm Sam Kavaris, and that's the Nimnicht Buick GMC Video Sports Update.